So it is finally here. Say hello to the Honor Magic 4 Pro, one of the best smartphones that we got to play with at Mobile World Congress 2022. Now, if you remember, we did get a chance to do a camera test with this smartphone just to see what the camera capabilities were like, but the software wasn't finalized yet. But now that we have our review unit, we're ready to put this up against some of the best smartphones that are currently on the market. Namely, in this comparison, we're going to pit it up against the Pixel 6 Pro, which was one of my favorite devices for capturing photos and videos right now in 2022. So the question is, does the Honor Magic 4 Pro have what it takes to go up against the best that Google has to offer? Let's take a look. So let's kick things off with the Honor Magic 4 Pro and its quad camera system on the back. Though only 3 of those cameras actually capture photos. There's a time-of-flight 3D depth sensor there for capturing depth information. But then there are 2 50 megapixel sensors, one for the main and one for the ultra-wide camera as well. And then right in the middle there, you can see the oddly shaped periscope telephoto camera that is a 64 megapixel sensor that has a 3.5x zoom capabilities. Though, as you can see at the top, they're quoting 100x digital zoom there as well. As far as those main sensors on the back of the device, the main and the ultra wide, those 50 megapixel sensors can capture 4K video, the main one at 60 frames per second, while the ultra wide can capture 30 FPS, though that 3.3x zoom camera isn't able to capture any video at all. As far as the selfie cameras go, up front we have 2 sensors. Again, a time of flight sensor for capturing depth information and for face unlock. And then there is a 12 megapixel sensor that can also capture 4K video at 30 FPS. And switching over to the Google Pixel 6 Pro, we do have a triple camera setup on the back of this phone with a 48 megapixel main camera, 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and then a 50 megapixel 4x telephoto camera that you can see there with the rectangular shaped sensor there. And then on the front of the phone, we have an 11.1 megapixel selfie camera peeking through the display there that can record 4K video at up to 30 frames per second, with the rear cameras doing the same 4K 30 with only that main sensor going up to 4K 60 FPS. So now that we've gotten the specifications of the Honor Magic 4 Pro and the Pixel 6 Pro all squared away, let's jump into some side-by-side photo and video comparisons to see how these two devices handle themselves in everyday use. Let's take a look. Here's a look at video capture from both of these devices, starting off with the ultra-wide cameras on the back and then switching over to the main sensor. And on the Honor, it's a little bit harder since there is a zoom slider. There's no easy one tap to zoom in. but then you can go to 2x zoom on the Pixel and 2x zoom on the Honor as well. Both of these are digital zooms, but what you don't have on the Honor is the ability to use the periscope camera on the back. If you do continue to zoom in, it's using simply a digital crop on that main sensor. And then of course we can flip things around to the selfie cameras on both the Pixel 6 Pro and the Honor Magic 4 Pro. Again, both of these capturing 4K video at 30 frames per second, which looks really nice. Now, I do want to point out that these are some of the few devices that can actually do 4K, 30, or even just 4K at all from their selfie camera, since a lot of flagship devices that are on the market these days still only capture video from their selfie cameras at 1080p. And this here's a look at video capture from the rear cameras on both of these devices. Starting off with the main sensor on the back of the phone, and then now I'm going to switch over to the ultra wide on both devices. Give you a look of what that can do as well. And then flipping these around to the selfie cameras on both of these smartphones. The Honor does have a slightly wider field of view, which I actually kind of like. But as far as the video quality goes, it does look like the Pixel 6 Pro does come out ahead just slightly in these situations. pulling in a little bit more detail, but also brightening up the scene slightly more than what you get on the Honor 4 Pro. Camera comparison with the Pixel 6. And that's going to do it for this camera comparison between the Pixel 6 Pro and the Honor Magic 4 Pro. Let me know what you think of the results in the comments below, and which device you would rather use on a day-to-day basis for capturing your photos and videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more camera comparisons from us, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. And that's going to do it for this camera comparison between the Pixel 6 Pro from Google and the Honor Magic 4 Pro. Let me know what you think of the results in the comments below, and which device you would rather use on a day-to-day basis for capturing your photos and videos. I do have a full review of the Honor Magic 4 Pro coming up, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.